Welcome to A View to a Grill. I'm Johnny. Today I'm going to take these chicken thighs, season them with a blend of Mexican spices, grill them to perfection, and then make these delicious Mexican spice tacos. And I'm going to do it all on the Golden's cast iron Kamado. Now, if you didn't know, I do have an Instagram page, and if you would like, head over there and give me a quick follow. And now let's season up our chicken with this Mexican spice blend. Now, the star of this blend is going to be this Mexican oregano. If you've never tried Mexican oregano, try it. It'll be a permanent part of your pantry. We're also going to need a tablespoon of kosher salt and a teaspoon of black pepper. And then we're going to need a tablespoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of ground Kamado. And then finally, we're going to need a couple of tablespoons of lime juice. For the chicken thighs, the first thing we want to do is inspect them to make sure there are no cartilage or bones that the butcher may have missed. Next, we'll get our chicken thighs into a bowl, and then we'll add our spices and lime juice. And then once we have that in, we'll give everything a good mix. Once we have all that mixed together, I'll then add about a tablespoon of Mexican oregano. I'll then give that a mix. And when I was done, I had some chicken thighs that look like this. And then I'll get that into the refrigerator and kind of let all those flavors come together. While that's in the refrigerator, it's a good time to set up our Golden's cast iron Kamado. For our fire starter, we're going to be using the Superior brand of fire cup. And for our fuel, we're going to be using the Golden's cast iron brand of lump charcoal. We're going to be lighting up a full chimney starter's worth of lump charcoal. Once our charcoal is ready, we're going to get that into the hot side of the Golden's cast iron Kamado. Now you want to spread that around just for even heat distribution. And I'll also put in one of the Golden's cast iron grill grates. I'll get the lid closed, and look how tight this thing is fitting. It just forces out ash from the bottom. Pretty incredible. The bottom vent is wide open, and we want to make sure the top vent is wide open as well. Now, while our Golden's cast iron is preheating, we're going to go ahead and do our vegetable prep. I'm going to be using this shredded coleslaw mix, a red bell pepper, some cilantro, a lime, 1 ear of corn, 2 jalapenos, and some Roma tomatoes. And then we're going to be using some salt and pepper to taste. For the topping, I'll be roasting the corn, the red bell pepper, and the jalapenos. We'll get all of those onto the hot side of the Golden's cast iron Kamado. For this, I am not going to blacken these. I'm just going to give them just a little bit of color, just like this. We'll start off with the red bell pepper. We're going to want to remove the seeds. Once we have the seeds removed, we'll then cut the little panels into strips and then cut them into a medium dice. Now we'll get that into a bowl and start on our Roma tomatoes. Now for the Roma tomatoes, I'm going to want to quarter them just because I don't want all of that juice in our topping. I'm going to also cut these into a medium dice and then get those into the bowl as well. Now for the jalapenos, slightly different. We're going to remove the seeds, cut these into tiny strips, and then we're going to cut these into a fine dice, only because I don't want to bite into a large chunk of jalapeno. Just want little pieces of jalapenos. Now we'll get that into a bowl, and then we're going to go get our corn. Notice I left the corn on the longest. For the corn, we're going to use the bowl to catch the kernels. And this is why I left the husk on. The husk gives me something to hold on to while I cut off the kernels. All you're going to do is grab that husk, slice the kernel off, and just turn the corn and slice until you've sliced off all of the kernels. And the last thing we're going to do is cut up our cilantro. I'm just going to fold that up into a little ball, and then as thin as I can, chop up the cilantro. And that should give you some cilantro that looks like this. And now let's get this seasoned up. We're going to use a half a lime, squeeze that into the bowl, and then we're going to use salt and pepper to taste. Now we'll just give that a mix, and then finally add our shredded cabbage. For the shredded cabbage, I like to mix that up with my hand. I find my hand to be the best tool. Once we have it all mixed up, give that a taste test just to make sure our seasoning's right. And to me, this doesn't need any more seasoning. The grill is now preheated, so let's grill our chicken thighs. I'll go ahead and put in that second grate, and I'm going to turn this one upside down. Since it's so close to the fire, it's only going to take 2 or 3 minutes to get hot. Now we can just grill our chicken thighs right over the direct heat. As we grill these, we're strictly going for color. These are not going to cook all the way over direct heat. Once they start getting to a color we like, we'll then flip them over. Also, as they cook and shrink, we want to move them to the center of the grill where it's hottest. Once they completely get to a color we like, we'll then move them to the cool side of the grill. We'll then close the lid, and then when the chicken reaches 165 degrees, we'll remove our chicken. While we're waiting on that to happen, it's time to get the rest of our ingredients together and build our taco. Now I just realized I had an avocado inside, so we're going to add some avocado to this. We'll get that scooped out, and then we'll slice it into 1/4-inch slices, and then we're going to add salt and pepper to taste. And now our chicken is done. We'll remove that from the grill and put it on our board, and look at that chicken. Kind of makes me say, damn, that is some good looking chicken. Now I'm just going to be using these corn tortillas. We'll get those on the grill and heat it up just to soften them a little bit. And now let's slice up some of this chicken. And check this chicken out, so juicy, so delicious. Here are our 3 taco shells, and the first thing I'm going to do is add some chicken. Next, I'll get some of our topping and put a generous amount in each taco. Now we'll just add our avocado. Then I have to fix this up so that it looks good on my thumbnail. And at last, I'm going to add some of this tomatillo salsa. And if you want to see the full recipe for this tomatillo salsa, check out the link above. And now I finally get to taste this thing. Man, we're going to give this a huge bite. No YouTube bite on this channel. And this was a really fantastic 4-bite taco. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do it now quickly. Thank you for watching A View to a Grill. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.